If you're a heating, air conditioning technician, or even a salesperson, why should you start with the end in mind, and why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Bell. I'm coming to you live from Redondo Beach, California, on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. So there is this race that they have, and this race starts in New York City, and it comes all the way to the West Coast and ends up right here at Redondo Beach at the Portofino Hotel. And this is known as the Cannonball Run. And during COVID, there was some people who were able to make this trip in like less than 24, 25, 26-ish hours. I mean, it was fast. There was nobody on the roads. And so like the record right now is, let's say, roughly 24 hours. You're like, hey, Scott, what does that have to do with anything? Well, they started with the end in mind. They started with like, hey, here is what I want to do. Here is where I want to go. And they planned to get there. So a lot of these cars, what they did was they put spare fuel tanks on the inside. And these spare fuel tanks allowed for them to not stop, because you need to have a constant time in order to beat like this 2,500 mile race. You have to hit like 100 mile an hour average. And so like when you start thinking about it, New York has busy traffic, Chicago has busy traffic. So you got to plan your route. You got to plan for the perfect time. And then, you know, you got to get into LA and not have traffic. If you come down to LA, like all the freeways are busy. Sometimes the 405 in the middle of the night is backed up. You're like, where are all these people going? Like, I never would have guessed it was going to be like this. So my question for you is, how do you start with the end in mind for the week, or for the day, for the week, for the month, or even for the year? Like, we could even take this even further. What do you do for the day? What do you do for the week? What do you do for the month? What do you do for the quarter? What do you do for the year? And so like sometimes I'll meet salespeople, I'll meet entrepreneurs, and I'll say, hey, tell me about your plan. Like, well, you know, I really don't have one. Well, if you plan to fail, like that's going to be a problem. So for you, my question is, what are you doing to plan your day, to plan your week, to plan your month, to plan your quarter, or plan your year in a way that's meaningful? I mean, I'm not saying you have to go to a crazy town and spend weeks and months and years on this. Like, it just could be a daily goal of like, hey, I want to hit this sales number, or I want to get this many appointments, or I want to meet this many people, right? For you, my challenge is today, what is your destination? I'd say, hey, drop it in the comments down below. I'll celebrate with you. You tell me when you hit it. And this right here is why you should join my email publication. Right above my head, there's a URL. You should go to it, type it into the browser. It'll probably ask you for your name, your email address, probably your phone number. So here's the thing. Starting with the end in mind is one of the ways for you to beat your competition. And you know, your competition could be the dude chick in the office. It could be the guy across town that you don't care for. But at the end of the day, it could be as simple as you writing this information down. You could text. I text myself all the time. I've got Signal, and I text myself notes and I go through them. Like, that's one way that you could do it. You could open a document on your laptop or on your tablet and call it good. But here's what's going to happen is you're going to become an outcome-based person. You're going to start looking for, what's the outcome that I want? So, you know, as a consultant, that's a really good question. Like, you know, what is the outcome that we're searching for to make this happen? Because like, if I know what that outcome is, I can come close to that goal, and I can come close to that mark. Sometimes I'll meet with people and I'll say, okay, you want to have some coaching, you want to have some training, you want to have some work. What's the outcome? And they'll give me like something that's super pie in the sky. I'm like, I'm awesome, but I'm not like magician awesome where I can pull that out of a hat and make it happen. What's the outcome that you want? So like, you could put a couple things in the chat today, and then in the comments, one could be like, you know, put your goal for the day. The other's like, what's the outcome that you want from this day, this week, this month, this quarter, or this year? Just want to let you know that I 100% appreciate you. Start with the end in mind. Got the hotel from the freaking Cannonball Run of all things. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.